Donald Trump's first month in office has been a dramatic one. The massive reforms, institutional overhaul and also a range of controversial cabinet picks have made headlines ever since Donald Trump came back to the White House with his loyalist Elon Musk in tow. Now, despite protests and also a wave of lawsuits against the current administration, the latest popularity survey indicates that the American president enjoys a split but substantial approval ratings. Now, according to the Harvard Capps Harris survey, Donald Trump currently enjoys about 52% approval ratings after his first month back in the Oval Office. But there's also a significant block of people that disapprove of the incumbent leader. The surveys revealed that about 33% of the voters very strongly approve of the president's job performance, while 19% somewhat approved of it and roughly about 43% expressed strong disapproval, and another 5% remain undecided. Now, comparing with former President Joe Biden's term to President Trump's first month in office, 58% of the voters believe that Donald Trump seems to be doing a way better job than Joe Biden did. Now, 3 of Trump's policies have received majority support. His policy of deporting illegal immigrants who have committed crimes received 81% support, while eliminating fraud and waste in government expenditure has garnered 76% support. Closing the border has grabbed about 76% of the support, and 55% of the voters have supported birthright citizenship of the children of illegal immigrants, while 70% of the voters believe that the government should make hiring decisions based on merit and objective evaluation rather than to achieve diversity. Now, 51% of the voters said that diversity, equity and inclusion departments are needed in the government. The poll found that 40% of the voters say that Trump's policies will make them financially better off, while 36% believe that Donald Trump's policies will make them worse off. 46% of the voters have said that Trump's policies will actually increase inflation, while 54% of the voters were worried that Trump's actions will divide the country. Now, the Trump administration has hailed its action-packed month even as the controversy continues to build, particularly over actions of Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency. While the billionaire with the unconditional backing of Donald Trump has defended his actions to slash public spending, outrage has poured onto the streets several times in the past month. Now, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are also facing over 73 lawsuits that levy a spectrum of accusations on the current administration, including that of unchecked powers and unconstitutional appointment of billionaire businessmen. Meanwhile, there's some bad news for the Democrats. The survey hints at an all-time low popularity for the blue camp after the latest polls show that only about 36% approval ratings. The Democrats are now 15 percentage points lower than their political rivals. All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we are joined in this broadcast by Mr. Eugene Craig, who's a Vice Chair, Maryland Republican Party and Chair, Black Republicans for Harris. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Mr. Craig, this is an interesting moment for Donald Trump. It's just been a month, but it feels a lot longer than that. Donald Trump has ushered in a lot of big-ticket reforms. Now, 52% of the people in America, it is reported, actually go on to support him. In your assessment, do you think 52% of support after 1 month, is that a good number?
I'll say this, right? Every president gets a honeymoon period. Typically the first 100 days, people are waiting to see what comes out of the Trump administration outside of the executive orders, many that have been stopped in courts. But the thing is this, right? The Harris-Harvard poll, showing that he has 52% approval rating, which pretty much is still 50-50. We've been pretty split as a country and schizophrenic around Trump and the Trump administration. So the thing is this, right? He's in his first 100 days, and most presidents get a grace period, a honeymoon during that first 100 days.
Right.
And the question would be what comes out that first 100 days.
It's interesting that although 52% of the people support him, but if you look at the specific policies, such as cracking down on immigration, deporting the illegal immigrants, and also a lot of the restructuring of the government bureaucracy within the United States. A lot of people seem to support him. Almost about 70 to 80% of the people seem to be backing some of these big-ticket policies that brought Donald Trump back to power. Do you think Trump has got the pulse of the people in America here?
Well, I will say this, right? I think, we all agree that people that commit violent crimes that aren't here illegally probably should be sent back to their home country. I don't think that's something that's as divisive as, rounding up children or rounding up, parents of children at churches or mosques or temples, right? Some of the things that they're doing under the cover of, hey, we're deporting violent criminals. When it comes to making the federal government work better for people, I think almost everybody has some aspect of the federal government that could work better for them.
Right.
Whether it's Social Security, whether it's Medicare and Medicaid is administrated, whether it's the veterans. It's a lot of things that the federal government could be doing better. When it comes to the only thing I think is kind of schizophrenic here is when the merit base. Because the Trump administration literally just sacked a 4-star chief of the Joint Staff for a 3-star, and has been doing that across the board. So I think we'll be interested to see what comes out of the next 50 or so years of Trump.
Interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Craig, for joining us with that perspective then.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.